And the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to read the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on Bitcoin Dominance for the daily, we do see a little bit of an uptick. Ideally, we would see a rejection here and then continue lower. Our stochastic is pushing up. VWAP is bullish, so I would watch that VWAP. If it continues forward, we could see crypto continue to outpace our altcoins, and remember, that'll make it difficult for an altcoin season. Over on the 1 hour, VWAP is favoring more bullish. Momentum is pushing up as a result, and the money flow has been in the green. That's what gave us this run forward. I would watch for that VWAP. If it sustains, then we could make a bull flag here, which could try to break us up. And again, that would mean our altcoins could still go up. It just wouldn't go up as fast as Bitcoin. Over on total for the daily, we could have a little bit of a decent double bottom here. So you have a drop, a rise, a drop, and then we would have another rise, which would try to break us forward. So that break forward, you would measure from where your neckline could be, so possibly right there, down toward where your beginning would be, your head point. You would apply that forward, and that'd give you your breakout zone, and that'd be a retest of our previous Fibonacci highs. Stochastic is pulling back. VWAP does want to break up. Momentum is pushing forward with the green dot, so we do look pretty positive. Again, we're going to want to see that dominance make a break, though, if we're going to see this outpace Bitcoin. Over on the 1 hour, a double bottom does look a little bit better right here. Doesn't look like it's very connected, but the overall trend we could say is still there. Our momentum is starting to push down. Stochastic is starting to round. VWAP does have a higher high, so if this sustains, we could continue forward and see that attempted move toward that neckline where we could try to get that further break up. Remember, trade on confirmation, so if you're going to open a trade just because we have a double bottom, make sure you have a stop loss in case that pattern gets invalidated. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, don't look too good because we do have a gap to the downside. So while we're filling our gap to the upside, this does create a point where we could see a rejection, push down, and then possibly continue lower if we're not careful. Our stochastic does want to run up. RSI is pushing forward. VWAP has a higher high with a higher low, pushing momentum higher, and that does want to give our money flow strength. But again, keep a close eye on this because that gap does have me a little worried about a pullback. Over on the 1 hour, I don't quite see the same gap here, so it does look, actually it's right there, so right in these candles right here. So we do have about 95k gap. Now, if we did fill that gap and then made a bounce, we could still get a higher low with consistent highs, which could try to create a rising triangle that would try to push us forward. Our stochastic does want to round away. Momentum is starting to lose strength. VWAP does have a higher high, but it's starting to push down, so watch for a higher low. If we can get a higher low, then sustain above that neutral, we can continue forward. But if we break this neutral and see lower highs with lower lows, it's likely we will see that gap fill and then possibly continue lower if that VWAP cannot reverse at that point. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did get our inverted head and shoulders from yesterday that did break up, so we will delete this. So hopefully you took some gains. Our stochastic is pushing up. RSI wants to push forward. VWAP is gaining strength. That momentum is pushing up. Overall, we do look pretty positive. A bullish divergence on momentum does want to try to help us push forward as well. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic is starting to round away. Momentum is starting to fall off. That VWAP is breaking into bearish territory, but we have a higher high. Watch for a higher low. If we can confirm a higher low and get above that neutral, we can still continue forward. I would watch though because this channel does look pretty straight. It is pretty straight, so we do have 3 touches to the top and 2 to the bottom. If we approach the bottom of this pattern again, with it being a rising channel, that could try to break us down, so keep that in mind as well. And would be a retest right around that 96k, depending on where we broke, possibly, yeah, right around that 96k. Then if we continued, we could continue fill that gap, and then hopefully we would make a bounce forward after that. So over on graph for the daily, we are bouncing back. We did stop a little short of that rounding bottom. So again, watch for tomorrow. Watch if we can break through that resistance and then continue forward. We need to break that resistance soon. Otherwise, if we keep staying below it, we could still trend lower. Our stochastic is weakening. VWAP is bearish. Momentum does have a higher low, so that is positive, but that will be dependent on that VWAP breaking neutral and staying above it for a while. Over on the 1 hour, VWAP does have a bullish trend. If this can maintain, momentum will lead money flow further into the green, and those higher time frames will strengthen. We are above that value area low, so if we continue seeing more green candles than red, we can continue to push forward. But if we start seeing some sell-offs over like the course of several hours, I would just pay close attention. Over on Anchor for the daily, we did break our resistance area, so we did get that descending channel break. We will delete that, so that is positive. VWAP is pushing up, momentum's gaining strength, stochastic's pushing up, RSI is gaining strength. Overall, we do look like we could continue forward, and we did break that resistance. Over on the 1 hour, we did get a breakthrough resistance and a retest. We did make a bounce. I would err on the side of caution though, because much like futures, we do have a gap to the downside, and with gaps having an 80% probability to fill, it's just nice to watch. And that VWAP is favoring bearish right now, so if that VWAP does not reverse, we could end up pulling back. Over on XRP for the daily, we have a little bit of red action, so it's one of the ones that are in the red today. We did see a pretty strong green candle with a descending channel break up yesterday, so we do expect a little bit of a sell-off, especially with a very strong green candle. Momentum is pushing up, VWAP is gaining strength. If that VWAP can continue forward, we will see momentum continue higher, pushing money flow up, and we could still see a break up. So over on the 1 hour, we do have consolidation after a push up. Again, this could create a bull flag to continue us forward, but we would have 3 touches to the top already, so I would watch it very closely, especially since that VWAP is favoring bearish. If that VWAP cannot reverse and get higher highs with higher lows, then it's likely we would see bears gain control and try to push us lower. Last but not least, for Algo for the daily, we did have that rising channel from several days ago that did get invalidated, so hopefully you're watching. Again, that's why you trade on confirmation, but we do want to make a bounce forward. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is starting to weaken. That VWAP does want to break that neutral, and momentum does want to push forward with the green dot, but that will be dependent on the 1 hour. If we can see this VWAP stay in the bullish territory, or at least get higher highs with this higher lows with our higher high to push us forward. If we see favor in the bearish territory below our neutral, momentum will sell off, money flow will reverse, and higher time frames would weaken. And again, this would be a rising channel, so I would watch for it to break us down, just like we covered just a little while ago. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and